An EU member since 1973, Ireland takes over the rotating presidency of the European Union today for the next 6 months. Ukraine's President Zelensky has arrived in Dublin for the symbolic ceremony that will take place today in Dublin Castle. For more, we can straight head over to the castle and bring in the Irish Minister for European Affairs, Thomas Byrne. Good morning, Minister. So lovely to have you on Europe Today today. Just tell us, President Zelensky has arrived for the proceedings. This is the first surprise, if you like, of the presidency.
Yeah, well, we're delighted that President Zelensky is here. President Costa of the European Council will be here as well. This will be a ceremony, I suppose, to mark the opening day. It's not just ceremonial. We have about 20 meetings of working parties in Brussels happening today. I've already got calls from senior MEPs on particular files this morning. So we're starting with action. We're starting straight into it, and it's a very exciting moment for all of us here in the Irish system. It's a generational moment with some really important files on enlargement when you mention Ukraine, but also on the MFF and the One Market Roadmap as well. These are key files for Ireland, but also for Europe.
Just on Ukraine, how will you advance the talks on their membership into the EU over the next 6 months?
Well, look, we've already achieved a lot now at the end of the Cyprus presidency, and I want to pay tribute to them for that. So our ambition is to open more clusters in the negotiations with Ukraine. So we're already working on that. We've had discussions yesterday. We'll continue to have discussions this week to see how far we can go to have an intergovernmental conference this month. Obviously, all of the member states have to agree to that, and we'll have to work really, really hard to get the member states to come to that view. So look, that's a serious work in progress at the moment.
And of course, Mr. Byrne, this presidency comes just as the EU is seriously lagging behind the US and China. How will you help make the EU more competitive over the next 6 months?
Well, I think the One Market Roadmap sets out like a long series of actions that we should be implementing this year, much of which has to be done during the Irish presidency. That will make us more competitive, more resilient, and make it easier to do business in Ireland. On my agenda, the simplification agenda is really important to make it cheaper to do business, but also at protecting the basic values that make us Europeans. But we have other items such as the Savings and Investment Act, the EU Inc. proposal, and that long list on the roadmap. So our entire system is geared to trying to get agreement among the member states. It's not all on us. Member states have to agree, and the European Parliament has to agree as well. But if we can do this, I think it will be generational. It will be really important and a significant boost to the European economy.
And just finally, what would a successful presidency look like to you? And are Irish people as enthusiastic as you today?
I think Irish people are always very proud when we take over the presidency of the European Union. Irish people are very supportive of the European Union. They know the benefits that the European Union has given to peace and to economic prosperity, not just in Ireland, but across the European Union. So I think there's a huge awareness in Ireland today of what's happening. And I think Irish people will have a lot of goodwill towards government and civil servants who will be doing a huge amount of the work in meetings in Brussels and in Dublin. But today, it's a day to start the work, but also to mark the occasion.
OK. Minister Thomas Byrne, thank you so much for joining us there from Dublin Castle as Dublin takes on that role as presiding over the EU Council for the next 6 months.